Yeah, well, it's good to see you guys back. It was good to get back out on the court. These are never easy games to play. When you have you want your guys to get home for the holidays and see their families and have Christmas, but as a coach, you kind of know that disruption can cause, some sloppy play at times, some things you got to work through, and this is always a game that is a difficult one, for a lot of reasons. Students aren't back yet, so the atmosphere is a little bit different than it'll be for the Big Ten games, and your guys got to be mature about it. And I thought we were. We knew coming into this game we had a tremendous amount of respect for Jackson State. You look at their schedule, who they've played. They beat Missouri, on the road. They beat and they've played at Gonzaga. They've played at Houston. They've played Memphis. So they were certainly not going to be intimidated by coming in here. And they're a scrappy team, and Mo does a good job coaching them. And overall, I was pleased to win. I thought in the second half our defense was better, but we were sloppier offensively. It was kind of tale of two halves. First half, I thought we were sharper offensively and not as good defensively. I thought we didn't have that grit and that grind that we are kind of accustomed to having that makes us a good team. Second half, I thought we did a better job. Did a good job on Adams in the second half. He had 11 at half, finished with 13. Obviously, Evans, he gets 23, but he takes 20 shots. He banked a three, made a couple really long threes. He's a really good player. But overall, just happy to win. Obviously, it wasn't a masterpiece. We can do a lot of things better, but it's good to wrap up the non-conference with a win and put ourselves in a position. We always tell our guys when you head into league play, you want to go into league play feeling like you have things to play for. And our guys did a good job winning 9 games in the non-league, and now we're off to Big Ten play. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to continue to get better. We're still in late December. The teams that end up emerging and being the teams that do well in the conference are the ones that continue to improve. We did that last year. We got better as the season went along, and we're going to have to do that. But we have really good leadership in our locker room. We have veteran guys. We have pieces. We have guys that are winning players that are really motivated to go into conference and compete. And obviously you got to take it one at a time. I mean, you can say this team's down or that team's down or this team's up. Every game you play, guys, I'm telling you, the Big Ten, it doesn't matter, home or road. Everybody's good in this league, and you got to play well in order to win one game. And that's what we're going to focus on as we head on the road now and go to Champaign.
After the Chicago State game, Coach, you challenged the team defensively.
Yeah.
But then you didn't feel like they were connecting with the team. We went 3 games since. How do you feel like those aspects of the game?
Well, I thought in DePaul and Arizona State, it was by far our best defensive efforts. I thought second half we showed signs of that tonight. I thought first half we were kind of a step slow. We didn't have that normal tenacity, I didn't think, in the first half. It was almost kind of we were working off the Christmas holiday or kind of just, I thought they had a lot of freedom of movement. We weren't as physical as we needed to be. They had out-rebounded us in the first half, I think, by 5. We just weren't, as gritty as we needed to be. DePaul and Arizona State, I thought we were a tough-minded team. We held them to 46 points in each of those games, and that's the kind of defensive effort we're going to need night in and night out because the offense will go up and down. I mean, you're going to have nights where guys don't shoot it as well or you struggle to score at times because you're going to play against other good defenses, and that's where our defense has to travel. It's got to be here at home. It's got to show up every night if we're going to be successful.
Coach, tonight, Ty and Ryan combined for 37 points, but in particular, Ty, the second 20-plus game of the season. We talk about his growth as a player over his 4 years and now to the point where he can, be out there the best player on the court.
Yeah, I mean, Ty is, I've always been a big fan of Ty. You guys know that. His energy is infectious, his enthusiasm. When he's right, when he's playing with that kind of joy and passion, it really uplifts his teammates. And I just think he's played, he's had a couple games maybe where he hadn't been at his best, but overall I thought he's been playing really well in the non-league tonight. He gets to 20 points and makes 5 threes. But I thought the biggest thing the last 2 games was him getting back on the glass. He got 10 rebounds against Arizona State. He gets 6 tonight. And I've always felt like when he's at his best, he's down there, he's rebounding, he took a charge tonight, which I thought was a big play. And he's a big key. I mean, look, if you want to win, your best players have to play well. If we want, we need Boo and we need Ryan and we need Ty and we need Brooks. Those 4 guys on a given night. If we want to, it's just like any team. You ask any coach, you need your best guys to play well, and then you need your guys around them to kind of fill in. I thought Nick Martinelli, these last 3 games, his play, he's starting, he's back healthy now. He's feeling good. He's starting to show what he can do. I've been really pleased with how Nick has played. And that's exciting going. And I thought Blake Preston's minutes were big tonight. I just thought he gave us physicality. He blocked some shots. He got some rebounds. He played really well for us tonight, and it was a huge key to us winning.
Coach Ty's seeing about a 10% buzz in both his field goal percentage and 3 points. What do you think is year to year, like from last year?
Yeah.
What do you think is next month?
Well, you guys, you've heard me talk a lot. I talk about law of averages all the time. I thought his 29% last year was not indicative of the shooter he was. I thought he was very streaky last year, and his shot got really flat. And that's something he worked on the offseason, was getting a little more lift on his shot, shooting a softer ball, getting a little bit more arc on it. He's got such a beautiful stroke, and when his feet are set and he's taking good shots, he can really shoot it. And I was confident coming into this year that he was going to get back to that high 30s, 40% range from 3, because I've always believed that's what he is, and that's what we preach to him. I want him to have that kind of confidence.
End of the calendar year, now that the slate is over, just looking back on those 11 games, what's your state of the union? How would you reflect on that as an overall?
Yeah, as a coach, you're always wanting to play better. You're in search of the perfect game, and it's not out there, certainly. But if you look at the schedule we played, we had our good moments. We had some really good wins. We had times we didn't play as well. Obviously, 2 defeats that we'd love to have those games back in hindsight, but that's not how it goes. And I've always felt, coming into the year, I felt like if you could get 9, 10 wins in the non-league, it puts yourself in position, to go into the league and have a chance to play for something. And our guys did that. Obviously, a really good win over Dayton. Some of these mid-level teams, I think Jackson State's going to win their league. They're predicted to win their conference. They're going to be a team I think you see on Selection Sunday. Some of the teams we played, Northern Illinois is a much improved. So, I think there were moments that we played very well, and there were moments we didn't look very good. And that's, as a coach, that's where, you just want guys to continue to improve. You want guys to continue to be ready to help us. And obviously, as we move forward, I just want everybody to stay ready. Season's a long season. You need everybody ready to play. And we're going to keep working and keep practicing and keep kind of figuring out how we can be at our best with this team.
Coach, Boo at times looks like he was struggling with a double team. So how do you, as a coach, draw plays around that to get Boo open creation shots and to sort of get him to become more?
Yeah, well, I thought in the first half we did a pretty good job against the traps. We were short rolling and getting the ball to big in the middle of the floor. And Ryan, right out of the gates, out of their traps, hit 3 threes. He had 9 points before you could blink. We got a couple cuts. We hit those guys. Look, if they're going to double team Boo, he's got to move the ball. And then what we have to do is then you have a 4-on-3 advantage. If we do a good job of getting rid of the ball and having proper spacing, that's where you got to believe in other guys, and some teams have done that. Some teams have tried to take the ball out of his hands, and that's where other guys have to step up. And that's how Ryan and Ty combined for almost 40 tonight, because the other team's emphasis was to take Boo out of the game. So, you have to take what the defense gives you. I think he's done a really good job of throughout his career kind of understanding that, and teams that want to do that, he's going to be a willing passer. And then when it comes time to be aggressive, he still was able to get 12 points and probably would have had few. He missed a couple of floaters he normally makes, missed a couple of layups around the basket. So he still would have worked his way to 16, 18 points, had he hit his normal shots. So I'm not that concerned about it. We got to continue on film to watch what teams are doing. We kind of prepared for that, earlier in the game. And to be quite honest, they stopped trapping him. In the second half, they went to switching. So, we kind of got them out of that coverage by the way we attacked it in the first half.
How can he get more involved on offense on the scoreboard, or how you kind of see the
Well, obviously, I'd love better production from Matt offensively. I think one of the things we talk about with Matt is we need him to get ahead of the ball in our pick and roll game so he can be that lob threat. You know, he got one tonight. I think it was the first play of the second half where he was able to catch a lob. But that's really, you know, his rolling ability and then his ability to clean up off the glass. And he's emerging as a low post guy. You know, he'd be the first, you know, that's not really the strength of what he does is scoring on the block, but that doesn't mean he can't be incredibly productive by rolling to the basket. There's so much attention on our guards that if our big guys do a good job finding areas and getting to spots and catching the ball and finishing and making free throws, that they're going to have opportunity. I mean, Blake Preston tonight has 8 free throws, you know, so, you know, obviously he missed 4 and then missed 2 bunnies around the basket. I mean, he could have very easily had 12, 14 points. So, again, it's kind of what the defense gives. We believe in Matt. Obviously, he's an anchor for us, his size, his physicality. I think, too, when you get into the conference, some of these teams can be a little bit harder for him when they're playing forwards and guards and they're kind of opening the floor and making him play out on the court. When you get into conference now, you're playing against big, strong, physical guys every night, you know, and that's where Matt really comes into play, and we're excited to have him keep stepping up as we get to Big Ten.
And then it's looking ahead to Illinois. What does this team need to be better, especially going into a venue that you guys lost last year, split the season series, what does it look like?
Yeah, I think the formula for us is pretty simple. You know, we have to take care of the ball. You know, make sure when we can't have live ball turnovers. When we have live ball turnovers, we can't get our defense set. We got to make people play against our half-court defense. That starts with how we play offense. We got to play good offense. We got to work together. We got to be a high assist, low turnover team. You know, 11 was too much. I think we had 2 tonight in the first half. 9 turnovers in the second half, too much. So we got to take care of the ball. We have to play stout defense, and we got to rebound. You know, and I think if you ask about any team, that's going to be the case. And we know what we're going to face. It's a tough place to play. They have a great following, great atmosphere there in Champaign. We haven't won there, you know, I don't think since I've been coaching. We haven't won there. So our motivation to go to Champaign and play a high-level game, I know our guys are going to really lock in, but it doesn't mean we're going to do it. It's going to be hard. You're playing a top 15 team in the country that's beating a Florida Atlantic, beating a Missouri by over 30 points. I mean, this is a really good, well-rounded team, and we know we're going to have our hands full on Tuesday night. Yeah. 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 I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. I was going to do that before, but that's why you're such a good journalist. You brought it up for me. You know, my heart's a little bit – I just got the news as I walked off the floor, and my heart sank a little bit. I got to know Coach Meyer really well as he became our radio guy. Maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, he traveled with us. He was on road trips. You know, I just remembered a lot of conversations talking basketball with him, you know, and I felt like we always kind of had a connection because of our upbringings. You know, we both had famous fathers, you know, fathers who accomplished a lot in basketball, whether it was playing, coaching, you know, living up to the legacy of that. And we had a lot of great conversations about kind of blazing our own trail and being our own coaches and taking the things we learned from our dads. And so I always felt we had a great connection. We became really good friends. Heartbroken to hear about his passing. Really thinking about the Meyer family tonight, and you know, really loved my time getting to know Coach Meyer and getting to learn from him and the things he went through in his career. And you know, just really sad that I won't have a chance to be around him again, and really thinking of his family tonight. So thank you for bringing that up. All right, thank you guys. Be good. See ya.
Not necessarily, yeah. It was just kind of how the game unfolded, like you said. Teammates got me open, and I think they had a couple miscues on defense, and we took advantage, so.
Your second 20-plus season, how do you feel that you've kind of taken that next step as a scorer this year?
You know, I feel like this off season I put in a lot of work, you know, to really focus on my shot, and I feel like my teammates just do a great job of finding me and trusting in me to knock down shots, and so yeah, I credit my teammates for getting me the ball on open shots.
Having about a 10% jump in the field from last year, what do you think that's part of off-season work? Do you think that's the thing in the game, or what is that difference?
Yeah, I think it's off-season work, but I feel like it's also, my teammates, believing in me and giving me the confidence that I need to score.
And for off-season work, do you looking to change your form? Is that just a volume of shot situation, or what were you changing it for?
Yeah, just reps. Just reps. That's all it is reps.
How would you guys grade this non-conference slate? End up 9-2.
I mean, it's pretty good. 9-2 is pretty good. Obviously, you never want to lose any games, but we learned a lot, I think, from these 11 games going into the league. So that's the important part. Is we kind of faced everything, I think, and a lot of close ones, and even some blowouts as well. But all those things that we're going to take into the Big Ten will have us ready to go.
Yeah, it's both kind of positive. How do you feel like that was kind of translating to the Big Ten?
Everybody we play are really good players and good teams, and I think it's just relying on each other and trusting in each other to knock down shots. And I just feel like we have an elite group of guys who are really connected, and we look for each other and we care for each other. So yeah.
After the holiday break, you mentioned that these are always games that are easy to get nervous about after taking over a week off. How did you guys just feel about locking back in?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is you go home, you have some time off, but it's really not a break in that sense. Got to make sure you stay in shape, you stay ready, because I mean, this whole second half of the season comes really fast. So, but we just got back to work. We're getting really competitive in the first day back, running a lot and all that stuff, and so it was a great first win back, and we'll be ready to go.
Two more questions. I really think last year the team kind of stepped up and not passed the most and tried to make some plays, something that Coach talked about. How do you feel about the team as you head into the Big Ten, either as compared to last year, and if you think the potential to go
I would just say going into Big Ten play, we know it's a gauntlet. Every game is just as important as the other, and every team we play is really good. So just taking it one game at a time and focusing on the opponent that we got ahead, and we just know that it's a team effort, and we gotta do it together and get it done.